So look, Peter, you saw the chart. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't expecting it. I think people are overreacting to some of the inflation worries, some of the other travel players and concerns, but we haven't seen any of the inflation worries affecting the booking so far going into the summer season and other and longer stays. So we were a little surprised. We thought it was a good quarter, and I think we expect a continued good travel season despite inflation concerns.
So there's no question that people want to travel again, but at what point does inflation sap that demand?
Yeah, I think what we saw through COVID, that on a macro basis, was a lot of savings in most households, and also an overspend in consumer goods. And what we've expected to see, and what we've been starting to see, is a sort of a fall back to norms and probably an overspend on services, including travel and hospitality. So we've been expecting that, and that seems to be playing out. Obviously, long term, who knows on inflation, but in the near term, inflation worries don't seem to be canceling people's ambition to travel. Whether they might maybe re-rate down what they're hoping to do, maybe not Paris, but San Diego, we might see some of that. But again, we expect people to travel regardless. And we participate in all segments of travel. And if people travel a little more modestly, we'll pick that up. So we expect it to be strong, at least for the foreseeable future.
So you saw a steep rise in bookings compared to last year, but you're still not back to 2019 levels. I spoke to Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky just yesterday. Somehow he always comes on the day before you, so I have to get your reaction to it. He talked about how they are now ahead of pre-pandemic levels, even in cities. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Well, it's already above 2019 at this very moment with Airbnb. I can't say it's above for everyone. I don't know if hotels are back to 2019 levels, but we are.
Next time, Peter, you're going to have to come on 24 hours before Brian Chesky. But either way, look, what's your reaction? How do you explain some of the differences that we're seeing?
Sure. Well, a couple things. One is, we saw very robust growth in our alternative accommodation in Vrbo during COVID, as did Airbnb in segments. And as cities have come back for them more, cities aren't fully back, but cities have done better in the last quarter. And so they're getting the benefit of that. Vrbo, for us, doesn't really participate in urban markets. So we've both been strong throughout COVID. And I think the extra lift of cities coming back put them into positive territory. But what Brian referred to, which is true, hotels are not fully back across the globe. Not all geographies are back across the globe. So our mix of business, which, we have markets like in North America where we are fully back and more. And we have markets like APAC that are still way under where they've been because they're still largely closed down. So it's a mix of business, and that's what the story's been really throughout most of COVID, which is depending on where you were strong, if you were in a strong place and the business was there because of COVID, you did well. And as COVID unravels and we start to see cities come back, long-haul international come back, all the corridors open geographically, that business will be back. We are definitely back and more than back in many markets.
You've got some other news today, unveiling your Expedia Group open world e-commerce platform. What is this and how is it going to augment the broader business?
Yeah, so as you know, we've talked before about how we've been replatforming our technology to drive our own B2C business faster. But what we realized in doing that was that if we built our platform to be externalizable, essentially in microservices, that we could provide the underpinnings for travel commerce for really any players. We have a very robust B2B business. We power lots of airlines selling rental cars or packages. We power rewards programs. We power AARP's travel program, many things. But these are big enterprise level deals. What we're building now is an ability to sort of take our whole stack and turn it into microservices. So if a partner just wants to use our service capabilities or our payment capabilities or any parts of our e-commerce stack or the whole thing, or sell cars or just activities or anything to augment their business, we can provide that capability so that we think it's going to dramatically expand the number of partners we can have in our B2B universe, which ultimately expands how much travel we can sell for our partners and how many travelers we can serve.